Hi everybody, welcome to Midweek. I hope this week is going very well for you. I have a good friend with me today, Jim Umstead. Welcome, thanks, glad you're here. Jim, how long have you been in our church?
24, 25 years.
You're one of the early California transplants, right?
Okay.
That's where you guys came from?
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, and you still have good friends, and you do root for UCLA,
Yes. Yes.
but not USC.
Importantly, not at all for USC.
That's awesome. Jim, years ago, part of the reason I invited Jim is this weekend is Veterans Day. And Jim's one of those guys that always helps me remember veterans. He gives me articles. He just is such an encourager. And I think certainly that came from you've been in the military.
Yes.
Where did you serve?
I went into the Army on October 13th, 1967. It was a Friday.
Okay.
And I went anyway. But I served 3 years in the United States Army. I was 14 months at Fort Ord, California. I was 1 year in Vietnam, and I was 10 months at Fort Huachuca, Arizona.
Now, when you were in the military, you were a Christian.
Yes.
But you told me you kind of weren't a real practicing Christian. What were some of the, if you will, struggles or some of the, you knew God, and what were some of the challenges, but maybe also benefits of being a Christian in the military?
Well, particularly in my year in Vietnam, it helped me pray more for safety and all those kinds of things. But one of the things I thought about was that as a Christian, I'm kind of expected, and I think I want to be someone who goes above and beyond. And so I would try and help out those around me who had jobs to do, but I wasn't really affected. If I can explain it a little bit in Vietnam, my friends, my camaraderie group I hang around with, were the guys in the X-ray clinic at the hospital I worked. And when we had direct casualties came in, they were busy. They had things to do. So I ended up helping them. Helping guys get into the X-ray clinic, lifting them onto the gurneys and off the gurneys onto the table. I was working in developing the X-rays and all those kinds of things. So it was just a feeling of going beyond what I had to do to go on what needed to be done.
When you have always been so helpful to me. Of just, again, celebrating veterans, celebrating. Why? What moves in your heart? What do you know about them, what they face, what they experience that causes you to never want to let our church forget our veterans?
I think it probably started back with my dad. He was in Europe in World War II. Served with Patton, by the way. My older brother, served 4 years in the Air Force, and so I think that was kind of the beginning of all that. And yet, when I was looking at whether I was going to go into the military or not, my thinking was, for the, God willing and all that sort of thing, for the 70, 80, 90 years I get to live in this country. I mean, let's face it, we all won the lottery by being born in the United States of America.
Yeah.
It was a small price to pay to serve 2, 3, 4 years in the military and do my part.
Yeah. When you hear about our military recently, it's been about their support of Israel, maybe even Israeli soldiers who are, heading into some really difficult things. What are some of you've been there, you were in Vietnam, how do you pray for them? What comes to your mind that God just stirs in your heart to pray for them?
Well, the obviously first thing you pray is for their safety. War is not fun and it's not pretty, and there are things that need to be done. And so you do those things and pray that will all come out okay. I think I pray for a oneness of spirit within their job duties, that they're focused and they're doing what they need to do. And then I also pray for the camaraderie that you enjoy when you're there. When I went to Vietnam, I was a day before Christmas when I was supposed to be moved to my permanent station, and that wasn't going to happen until the next day. So I was by myself at this processing company, and all of a sudden they were having a Christmas party and they invited me. to come. I didn't know anybody. They didn't know me. And they were exchanging gifts, and so I was watching this, and they had a gift for me that had come from Red Cross or whatever back in the States. And I'll never forget, a care package is a big deal in the military.
Yeah. How, we have Veterans Day coming up.
Yes.
And we always recognize it in our church for people who have served, and I think it's a great thing. How else would you desire to see, or how would you suggest to our congregation of ways maybe that they can support people who are currently serving, people who have served? What are ways that maybe touch your heart and bless your heart that people have done for you, said to you?
Well, two things. And again, one of them goes back to prayer for those that are around. We have a couple in our church whose nephew recently was in danger in the Middle East for a couple of days anyway. And he's fortunately been moved out of that danger, but we prayed for him in our community group on Sunday morning. But care packages, as I said once before, nothing's better than mail call except a care package from home. And that's really fun to get. And so I have, on a couple of different occasions, one of them was our community group at church here, and another one was at my work. When we had one of ours get deployed to the Middle East at that time, we would gather once a month, put together a care package box and send it off once a month for the time he was there. And so those kinds of things I think are very important. I wear my Vietnam veteran hat very proudly and really enjoy the thank you for your service that we get from a lot of different people. But more, I look for another guy with a Vietnam hat and stop and talk to him and shake hands. And
I think a simple thing is probably all of us know somebody that has served. A simple text on Veterans Day. I just thank God today for you.
Yeah.
Or an email, or maybe even better, a phone call. I think that probably go a long way.
Yeah, well, the things have changed a lot. When I was in Vietnam, I could get letters and I could go down to the USO in Saigon and call my wife and talk to her for 3 minutes, after waiting a half an hour for all the other guys that were talking to their wives. For our guys at work, we got them a computer and we talk back and forth all the time. So things have changed, in technology, but that contact, that personal contact is important.
Well, let me be the first to say thank you. Thank you for serving our country. I love your perspective. It was worth the years. We did win the lottery by God allowing us to be born here. And certainly there are many who have paid with their life that you and I get to worship free and have, get to celebrate together as believers. So thank you for that. And also thank you for serving as one of our deacons. I didn't introduce that at the very beginning, but Jim has been faithful. It's kind of fun day. I had breakfast with him this morning, our executive team, and Jim has been one of those guys that, man, I just lean on. He has wisdom. He has commitment. It's like, you and Joy are such a gift to us. So thank you very much.
It's a joy to serve here.
Yeah. And it is a joy to be married to Joy.
Yes, it is.
I hope you have a great midweek this week. I hope we just want to commit just our thanks to all veterans. And let's join together in calling, emailing, texting every veteran we own and know in our body and let's just say thank you. Appreciate so much. Can't wait to see you this weekend. We're going to be in the Gospel of John once again. And guess what? We have a baby dedication on Sunday morning, first service and second service. So come and celebrate those families. Can't wait to see you. God bless you. We love you.